fluorescent lights of Pinewood Mall buzzed as Marcus Chen sorted through returned merchandise. December 23rd, and chaos everywhere. Tinsel hung crooked, and a mechanical reindeer bleated its broken tune every 30 seconds. "Marcus, we have a problem." Kelly appeared, face pale. "Santa didn't show up. Again." Marcus rubbed his temples. "Third time this month." "Cancel the appointments. We have 43 kids scheduled. Parents drove from Burlington. You know how this town gets about tradition." His phone buzzed. "Corporate. District manager arriving tomorrow. Everything must be perfect." "There has to be another suit," Marcus muttered. Kelly's eyes lit up. "There is. Old storage room, 3rd floor." The 3rd floor smelled like dust and decades. Past the shuttered arcade, a door marked storage hung ajar. Inside, Christmas decorations from forgotten eras lined metal shelves. In the corner, draped over a dress form, hung a Santa suit. But this wasn't cheap polyester. Red velvet, luxurious and shimmering, real fur trim, leather boots polished to a deep shine, a tag inside read, "Property of E. Holloway." Marcus's phone buzzed. "Kelly, parents getting angry, need Santa now." He pulled on the suit. The moment the coat settled onto his shoulders, the air grew colder. It fit perfectly. Too perfectly. Each button clicked with unusual finality. The belt cinched tight around his waist. The boots should have been too small, but they fit exactly right, warm leather conforming to his feet. He placed the hat on his head and caught his reflection in a grimy mirror. For less than a second, the face looking back wasn't his. It was older, with cruel eyes and a smile holding no joy. Marcus blinked. His own reflection stared back. By the time he reached Santa's workshop, sweat beaded on his forehead despite the air conditioning. Kelly's face flooded with relief. "That suit is amazing, very authentic." Marcus settled into the chair. Through the candy cane archway, dozens of families stretched past the food court. The first family approached, a mother holding a 6-year-old boy's hand. As they got closer, Marcus felt something strange, a tingling in his fingers, a whisper at the edge of hearing. "Naughty." The word appeared unbidden, in a voice like gravel scraping stone. "Hi, Santa." The boy's voice was innocent, but Marcus's eyes were drawn to the mother. The whisper came stronger. "Ashley Morrison, 2847 Hickory Lane." Naughty. Images flashed through his mind, knowledge appearing fully formed. Ashley Morrison, embezzling from her firm for 18 months. She'd blamed a coworker who'd been fired. Naughty. They think they can hide. But I see, I always see. "What would you like for Christmas?" Marcus heard himself ask, voice deeper than normal with a slight echo. The boy rattled off toys while Marcus nodded mechanically. He couldn't stop staring at the mother. "Marcus?" Kelly's voice cut through. "You're squeezing too hard." Marcus looked down. His gloved hands gripped the boy's shoulders with crushing force. He released immediately. "Sorry, buddy." More families came. With each one, the suit grew tighter, the belt constricted, the boots pressed. When he reached to adjust the collar, the fur trim felt like it was growing from the velvet itself. A teenage girl approached. "Jennifer Caldwell." Naughty. Visions flooded in. Jennifer cyberbullying a classmate for months. The victim attempted suicide last week. Jennifer had laughed about it. Marcus's hands curled into fists. He wanted to grab her, shake her, make her pay. Yes, make her pay. That's what we do. "No," Marcus whispered. When he tried to stand after they left, the chair held him down. He yanked himself up, stumbling. Kelly rushed over. "Break time." Marcus tried to remove the coat. His fingers wouldn't cooperate. The button seemed fused shut, panic rising. "Actually, I'm fine," he heard himself say in that deep, echoing voice. "Send in the next family." The afternoon crawled by. Each family brought revelations. A father stealing from his company, a grandmother who'd drained her daughter-in-law's account, a 12-year-old who'd set fire to a neighbor's shed. Naughty. All of them. This town is full of sinners. Marcus tried to fight it, but the voice grew stronger. The suit grew tighter. When he looked at his hands, the white gloves seemed merged with his skin at the wrists. At 5 p.m., Marcus stumbled to the restroom. He gripped the sink, staring at his reflection. His eyes seemed darker, skin paler, teeth sharper. He yanked the coat. Buttons wouldn't budge. He pulled harder, terror mounting. The velvet was hot, pulsing like a heartbeat. He grabbed the collar and pulled with all his strength. Pain shot through his shoulders. He looked down and saw thin red lines where the fur touched his neck. Not on his skin, under it, growing into it. He tried the belt. The buckle wouldn't open. The leather had darkened, and he realized he couldn't feel the fabric anymore. It felt like part of him. A security guard walked in. "You okay, Santa?" Marcus opened his mouth to ask for help, but what came out was, "Fine." The guard headed for a urinal, whistling. Suddenly, Marcus knew things he shouldn't. Robert Chen, 44. Naughty. Visions came fast. Robert taking evidence from Lost and Found. Phones, wallets, selling them online for gambling debts. Marcus felt his lips pull back in a snarl. He wanted to hurt Robert. "Have a good shift, man." Robert left. Marcus collapsed against the sink. The suit sighed with disappointment. He could feel it now, separate but merged. A presence. An intelligence. Hungry. Kelly texted, "Break's over." Marcus looked at his reflection. The hat sat perfectly. The beard, had there been a beard before? White whiskers covered his jaw, thick and real. When he touched them, they felt genuine. "I need to get this off," he whispered. "You can't. We're one now." The evening blurred. By 8:30 closing time, a man approached alone, no child, stumbling, smelling of alcohol. Thomas Holloway, 67. Edward's brother, very naughty. The visions were worse than all others. Thomas had known what his brother Edward was doing. Edward hadn't been just a mall Santa. He'd used the suit, the position, the trust to identify vulnerable children. Thomas had helped, had covered it up when Edward disappeared Christmas Eve 1987. Marcus tried to stand, to run, but the chair held him. Thomas's bloodshot eyes met his with recognition and fear. "That's Eddie's suit," Thomas whispered. "Where did you find it?" Marcus's mouth moved, but the voice was ancient and cold. "I've been waiting for you, Thomas." Thomas stumbled backward. "Eddie's dead. 37 years. The suit remembers. Come here, let's discuss your list." Thomas ran. Marcus tried to chase, but Kelly blocked his path. "Marcus, what's going on?" He grabbed her shoulders. "Kelly, call someone. Police. This suit, it's not right." But the words came out garbled. Kelly frowned. "You're burning up. Go home. You've been acting weird all day." His legs moved, carrying him away. Not toward the exit, toward the third-floor storage room. The mall had closed. Emergency lights cast everything in sickly green. The suit guided him back to where he'd found it. On the floor was a dark stain. Very old. December 24th, 1987. Edward put on the suit for the last time. 15 years of crimes, hiding behind red velvet. But the suit had enough. It wanted justice. Marcus sank to his knees. He could see it, Edward unable to remove the suit, watching as it merged with his flesh. The suit had taken him slowly, consuming him until nothing remained but clothes and that stain. "I am the suit. I am Edward. I am every Santa who wore this velvet. I am judgment." "Please," Marcus whispered. "I haven't done anything wrong." "No. You're innocent. That's why I chose you. I needed a host. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. We have work to do." He clawed at the coat. Fingernails broke and bled. The suit wouldn't budge. It was his skin now. A sound behind him. Thomas stood in the doorway, holding a rusty crowbar. "I should have burned it," Thomas said, voice shaking. "After Eddie disappeared, but I was scared." Marcus tried to speak. Only a growl emerged. Thomas raised the crowbar. "I'm sorry, but I can't let Eddie come back." Thomas Holloway. Final judgment. The suit surged forward, impossibly fast. Thomas swung, but Marcus's hand caught the crowbar mid-swing. The metal bent like foil. Thomas screamed. Marcus was trapped inside, watching as his body moved with inhuman strength. When it ended, Thomas lay on the floor, breathing shallowly, eyes wide with terror. Justice. Finally. Marcus felt tears. The line between himself and the suit had blurred beyond recognition. He could feel Edward's memories mixing with his own. "Help," he whispered. "Someone help." But the mall was empty. His phone buzzed. "Kelly, see you tomorrow for Christmas Eve, 10 a.m. Tomorrow, Christmas Eve." So many families, so many secrets. Marcus tried one last time. He pulled, tore, yanked until his fingers bled. Nothing worked. He stumbled out, leaving Thomas groaning. He caught his reflection in a dark window. The face was almost unrecognizable. Still partly his, but changing, becoming something older and crueler. Outside, snow began to fall. Tomorrow would be Christmas Eve. Tomorrow, Santa would return. Tomorrow, judgment would continue. Marcus walked through the empty mall, footsteps heavy, body strange and powerful and wrong. The mechanical reindeer started its song again, echoing through vacant corridors. In 24 hours, the children would come, and Santa would see everything. Every sin, every name on the naughty list. Deep inside, trapped in velvet and ancient malice, Marcus Chen screamed silently into the darkness. What do you think happened to Marcus by Christmas morning? Will any part of him survive, or has the suit consumed him completely? Have you ever worn something that made you feel like a different person? Share your story below. Sarah Mitchell's scrubs still smelled like disinfectant as she fumbled with her keys outside apartment 804. 3 a.m. Another 12-hour shift at Ashford General Hospital, her feet screaming, back aching. December in Ohio meant flu season, which meant the ER never stopped. The hallway of the Riverside apartments was quiet except for the heating system's hum. Sarah finally got inside, dropped her purse on the counter. Her apartment was small but hers. One bedroom, galley kitchen, living room barely big enough for a couch. The windows faced east, overlooking the Ashford River and downtown. Christmas lights twinkled from buildings across the water. She kicked off her shoes, started the coffee maker, and was reaching for her phone when she heard it. Singing, faint at first, multiple voices in harmony, a Christmas carol. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Sarah walked to the window. The singing came from outside, but that was impossible. She was on the 8th floor. She pressed her face against the cold glass, looking down. Empty street, no cars, no people. But the singing continued. Remember, Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day. The voices were old-fashioned, like a recording from the 1950s. Perfect harmony, slightly warbled. Sarah checked her phone, nothing playing. Laptop closed. The singing faded after another verse. Sarah stood by the window for 5 minutes, listening. Nothing, just the heater and Mrs. Chen's TV next door. Too tired, she muttered. She drank her coffee, took a quick shower, and collapsed into bed. The next night, Sarah came home at 3:15 a.m. She just sat down when she heard it again. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn king. Sarah's blood went cold. The same voices. She checked her phone, 3:47 a.m. exactly. She ran to the window. Nothing outside, but the singing was clearer tonight, closer. It sounded like it was right outside her window, 8 stories up. She called building security. There are people singing outside my window. Ma'am, I'm watching the cameras. Nobody's out there. Can you just look? After checking, Duke confirmed, nobody out there. Maybe sound from another apartment? It's coming from outside. Well, there's nobody outside. Sarah hung up. The singing faded away mid-verse. She didn't sleep that night. At the hospital the next day, Sarah could barely focus. Her supervisor noticed. You look like hell. Just tired. Haven't been sleeping well. That evening before her shift, Sarah went to the public library. She found the local history section and started digging. The Riverside Apartments, built in 1998. Before that, the lot was vacant for decades. And before that, tragedy on Christmas Eve, 23 dead in church fire. December 25th, 1952. The Ashford Community Church, which had stood exactly where her building now stood, caught fire during midnight mass on Christmas Eve. 23 people died, including the entire church choir. Sarah stared at the grainy photograph of the burning church. The caption listed victims: choir director Margaret Walsh, Dorothy Palmer, James Thornton, Robert Morrison. She found more articles listing all victims: 14 choir members, 9 congregation members. Sarah took photos with her phone and left for work. She didn't hear the singing that night because she worked until 7 a.m., but when she got home, there was a note taped to her door. Written in shaky handwriting, "Don't answer when they knock. 806. Apartment 806 was Mr. Kowalski. Sarah knocked on his door. "Mr. Kowalski? I got your note." Silence. Then the door opened a crack, chain lock in place. One watery blue eye stared at her. "You've been hearing them. The carolers." "Yes. Every night at 3:47 a.m. "What's today?" "December 22nd. 3 more days." He started to close the door. "Wait, what's happening?" "Every 8 years they come back. Start 4 days before Christmas Eve. Get closer each night. On Christmas Eve at 3:47 a.m. they knock." "And then what?" "You don't answer. No matter what you hear, you don't open that door." "What happens if you do?" Mr. Kowalski's eye moved away. "You join the choir." The door closed. 3 locks slid into place. Sarah tried to sleep but couldn't. At 3:45 a.m. she was on her couch, lights on, staring at the window. 3:47 a.m. arrived. "O come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant." The voices were in the hallway now. Sarah walked to her door. Through the peephole, nothing, just empty hallway. But the singing was right outside. O come ye to Bethlehem." 20 people singing directly outside her door. She pressed her ear against the wood. The voices vibrated through it. A woman with high soprano, a man with deep bass, a younger woman, then footsteps in the stairwell, heavy, slow, climbing up. More voices joined, coming from below, climbing the stairs. Sarah called Duke again. "There are people in the stairwell." "Ma'am, the cameras show nobody. The stairwell's empty." "I can hear them." But Duke insisted the cameras showed nothing. The singing grew louder. The footsteps reached her floor. The stairwell door squeaked open. Through the peephole, nothing. But she could hear dozens of voices filling the hallway. "Come and behold him, born the King of Angels." The singing lasted 10 minutes. Then the footsteps retreated. The stairwell door squeaked closed. Silence. Sarah slid down to the floor, shaking. December 23rd. Sarah called in sick for the first time in a year. She spent the day researching, calling the Ashford Historical Society. The church fire? My grandmother was supposed to be there, but stayed home with a cold. Saved her life, Margaret said. They say the choir was singing when the fire started. Some people claim they heard the singing continue even after. Has anyone reported hearing it since? There were stories in the 60s, and in 2016, police got called for a noise complaint. Singing in the middle of the night, but they never found anyone. 8 years ago. That evening, Sarah knocked on Mr. Kowalski's door again. He opened it faster this time. "Tomorrow's Christmas Eve." "I know. You've lived here since the building opened, haven't you?" He nodded. "I was at the church that night, December 24th, 1952. I was 16. My sister Dorothy was in the choir. I left early, had a fight with my parents. I was 2 blocks away when I smelled smoke." His voice broke. "Dorothy was gone. Everyone was gone. I'm sorry. I moved here the day it opened, to remember. Every 8 years they come back. 1998, 2006, 2014. What do they want? To finish the Mass, to sing on Christmas Eve, and they want others to join them. What do I do? Don't answer the door, no matter what you hear. The door stays closed until sunrise." December 24th, Christmas Eve. Sarah tried to stay awake but fell asleep around midnight. The singing woke her at 3:47. Silent night, holy night. But tonight was different. The voices were inside her apartment. Sarah shot up. The singing filled her bedroom, coming from everywhere. She could see her room empty, but the voices surrounded her. All is calm, all is bright. She ran to the living room. The voices followed in every corner. Then came the knocking. 3 gentle taps on her door. Through the peephole, nothing. 3 more knocks. Louder. The singing grew louder, more voices joining. "Round yon virgin, mother and child." Someone whispered her name. Sarah. Female, gentle, familiar. "Sarah, please. It's so cold out here." More knocking. Insistent. "We've been singing for so long. Won't you let us in?" Sarah backed away from the door. The knocking grew frantic. Multiple fists pounding, making the door rattle. "Sarah, open the door." Then Mr. Kowalski's voice through the wall. "Don't you dare." The pounding intensified. The door flexed, wood creaking. A new voice, young female, sad. "Please, I don't want to be out here anymore. It's been so long." Sarah sank to the floor, hands over ears, tears streaming. The door shook. The singing reached fever pitch. "Sleep in heavenly peace." 3:58, 3:59. Silence. The pounding stopped. Footsteps retreated down the hallway, down the stairs, fading. Sarah stayed on the floor until she heard Mr. Kowalski's door unlock. Then another door, 806, on the other side. Sarah crawled to her door, looked through the peephole. Mr. Kowalski stood in the hallway, staring at apartment 806. The door was open, just a crack. "Oh no," he whispered. Sarah unlocked her door. What happened? "Mrs. Patterson." She opened the door. When Duke came on his morning rounds, he called the police. Mrs. Patterson was found in her bed, peaceful. Heart failure, natural causes. She was 73. But Sarah saw the expression, not peaceful, ecstatic, like she'd heard the most beautiful music. On the nightstand, a Christmas card. "Finally, I can sing again." Sarah moved out on December 26th. Found a house on the other side of Ashford. far from the river. But sometimes, late at night, she hears it faintly, in the distance, getting closer. God rest ye merry gentlemen. And she wonders if moving was enough. Would you have opened the door? Could you resist if you heard a loved one's voice begging to come in? Have you ever heard something you couldn't explain late at night? Share your experience below. Jennifer Hayes gripped her daughter's hand as they navigated through Westfield Plaza's holiday crowd. December 18th, and the mall was packed. Screaming kids, exhausted parents, the smell of cinnamon pretzels. "Mommy, look, Santa!" 7-year-old Emma pointed at the elaborate setup in the center court. Jennifer checked her phone. 4:47 p.m. She had to pick up groceries, make dinner, help with homework. "Honey, the line is really long. Please?" Emma's brown eyes went wide. "Fine, just this once." After 40 minutes, Emma reached the front. The Santa was different from what Jennifer expected. Thin, with a real white beard. His red suit looked vintage, but his eyes, pale blue, almost colorless, made Jennifer's skin crawl. "And what's your name, little one?" "Emma Hayes. Have you been good this year?" Emma nodded enthusiastically. She climbed onto his lap and leaned in close, whispering. Jennifer couldn't hear, but Santa's pale eyes flicked to her, studying before returning to Emma. "That's a very special wish. We'll see what we can do." They took the photo and left. In the parking lot, as Jennifer buckled Emma in, she noticed a small cream envelope tucked into Emma's coat pocket. "What's this, sweetie?" Emma shrugged. "Santa's helper gave it to me." Jennifer opened it. Her name was written on the front in elegant cursive. Inside, a handwritten note. "Dear Jennifer, you've been naughty this year. Here's what I know. 1. October 3rd, you took $200 from petty cash at work and blamed the intern Marcus Thompson. He was fired. 2. November 12th, you lied to your mother about not affording Thanksgiving. You just didn't want her questions. 3. December 5th, you told Emma her father sends child support. He doesn't. You've been lying to make her feel wanted. Make it right before Christmas Eve, or there will be consequences. SC. Jennifer's hands shook. How could anyone know these things? That night, she searched Westfield Plaza Santa online. The mall's website showed a different Santa. Heavier, fake beard. She called the mall. "I need to file a complaint about your Santa." "Ma'am, our current Santa just started 3 days ago. Our previous Santa quit on the 15th. But I saw someone today, the 18th. That would be our new Santa, Miguel Rodriguez. He wouldn't give out envelopes." Jennifer hung up and opened Facebook, searching for Westfield groups. She found a Westfield Moms group. A recent post made her blood run cold, posted by Amy Mitchell. "Did anyone else's kid get a creepy note after seeing Mall Santa today? Personal stuff about me that nobody knows?" 47 comments, all describing the same thing. Small cream envelopes, personal secrets, all signed SC. One comment stopped her, posted by David Chen. "My wife got one 3 days ago. Laughed it off. Yesterday she was in a car accident. She's in ICU, brake line was severed." Jennifer felt sick. She kept reading, posted by Amy Mitchell. "Update, my sister ignored her note. Last night her house caught fire. Fire marshal says electrical, but the timing." Someone had created a thread analyzing the notes. One comment caught Jennifer's eye, posted by Margaret Walsh. SC. Last Christmas Eve, Samuel Carver was killed in a hit and run near the mall. Driver never caught. He always dressed as Santa for the children's hospital. Real beard, vintage suit. Jennifer clicked the photo. Her breath stopped. It was him. The thin Santa with pale blue eyes, dead for almost a year. She found Samuel's obituary. December 24th, 2023. Hit by a car at 11:47 p.m. outside Westfield Plaza. The driver fled. He died instantly. Jennifer remembered that night. She'd been at the mall, last-minute shopping, leaving around 11:30 p.m. through the north parking lot. She'd been texting, not paying attention, and then a man in a red suit stepping off the curb, her car swerving. A sickening thud. Looking back and seeing him lying there, people running over. Jennifer driving away, hands shaking, telling herself someone else would help, that she couldn't stop, couldn't get involved. She'd killed Samuel Carver. December 19th. Jennifer called in sick. She knew what she had to do. The note said, "Make it right." She drove to her office and confessed to her boss about the stolen money. She was fired on the spot. That night, she called her mother and apologized for lying about Thanksgiving. They talked for an hour, both crying. Then she sat Emma down. "Sweetie, I need to tell you something about your daddy. He's not sending money. He left when you were little. I'm sorry I lied." Emma cried herself to sleep. Jennifer held her, knowing the truth was better than the lie. 2 days until Christmas Eve, the Facebook group reported no new accidents for parents who'd made things right. December 23rd, Margaret Walsh posted again, "I found something. I filed a FOIA request for traffic camera footage from Samuel's accident. They're releasing it tomorrow." Comments exploded. What if the footage shows the killer? Maybe that's the point. Samuel's trying to find his own killer. Jennifer's hands went numb. The traffic camera at that intersection would show her car. Show what she did. December 24th, Christmas Eve. Jennifer woke to Emma shaking her shoulder. "Mommy, there's a man in our living room." Samuel Carver stood in her doorway, still in his Santa suit, pale blue eyes fixed on her. "Jennifer Hayes, you're on the naughty list. Please don't hurt my daughter. I don't hurt children. But you took my life. Left me bleeding in that parking lot. I was still alive for 3 minutes. If you'd stayed, I might have survived. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Your daughter asked me for one thing when she sat on my lap. She asked for you to be happy, to smile more. She loves you. I love her too, please. I know, that's why I gave you a chance. You fixed 2 mistakes, but the third," he shook his head. "My daughter needs closure. The police need justice. I'll go to prison. Emma will lose her mother. You took my daughter's father." He held out a phone. "Call the police, confess," or his eyes went cold. "The accident Emma has tonight will look very natural. Don't you dare. You have until midnight. Make it right, Jennifer." He vanished. The phone remained on the bed. Jennifer looked at the clock. 11:17 p.m. 43 minutes left. She picked up the phone. Emma watched with wide, frightened eyes. "Mommy, what's happening? Baby, go to your room for a minute, okay? I'm scared." "I promise, everything's gonna be okay." Emma left. Jennifer stared at the phone. She thought about Emma growing up without a mother, foster care, trauma, but she also thought about Michelle Carver, who'd spent a year wondering why someone killed her father and drove away. Who deserved answers? Jennifer's finger hovered over the call button. 11:58, 11:59. Jennifer made her choice. What would you have done? Could you sacrifice everything to make things right? Do you believe in justice beyond the grave, or do some secrets deserve to stay buried? If you enjoyed this Christmas nightmare, smash that like button and subscribe for more horror stories. Hit the bell so you never miss a scare. Drop your own creepy Christmas experiences in the comments. We might feature yours next. Merry Christmas, and stay off the naughty list.